everybody. So our journey begins and we're filling up with petrol. 114.9 cents per litre on our way on about a 6-hour journey. Try and give you a bit of a glimpse of stuff that happens as we head out east. Well, we're only 1 hour into our trip and had a stop for our first coffee of our holiday. Stopped at Yarragon, and it's just unbelievable how many coffee shops are along here. And coffee culture gone mad. But it's to our advantage because the coffee was pretty good. And they're just... It's a little town, but it's full of coffee shops. Wow. One pub. So guys, that's really good. A good sign for the rest of the holiday. Wonder how many more coffee shops we're going to find along our way. Let's get moving and find out. Only 600 kilometres to go. Let's get going. Well, we're halfway. We've arrived at Bairnsdale, and we're on the sides of Mitchell River, which is down here below me. And we're having a bit of a lunch break. So for lunch I'm having prepared sandwiches that we got back at that cafe, so check them out. Pretty good looking sandwiches. And I suppose we could have brought something from home, but it's so much easier to get something all prepared. Look at that. So this is what we call a sandwich. Sliced bread with, in this case, tomato, cheese, bit of ham, and it looks like a bit of cucumber. So pretty good stuff. Bit of lettuce there as well. Yummo. But we're not the first people to be here in Gippsland. Looks like Angus Macmillan beat us in 1849. So he's marked down as the discoverer of Gippsland. But I think there was a certain group of people here for quite a few thousand years before him. I think they might have been the true discoverers. Yes, the native population, there are still a few around, fortunately, in this area, and let's hope that they are doing well, because look at where they live. This is just fantastic country. We're in the shade of a beautiful gum tree. Check that out. Wow. And got the Mitchell River, which actually, this is a bit of a billabong, and up there is the main course going off to the horizon and into the mountains beyond. So there you go. This is Bairnsdale. I think our next stop will be where we're going to actually end up, which is Bermagui, and that'll be pretty much today's ride, and fill up the rest of the day. We'll see, we might stop somewhere else for a bit of a break, because it is a few hours stuck in the car, and I'm going to be a passenger this time, so I might do a few shots out the window as we drive along. Let's see what happens. Coming into the town of Bruthen up here, there's a rail trail that covers most of this territory. It's an old trestle bridge. It's a great little pub, in fact brewery, so I'll show you that as we zoom past it. Over this side is the brewery, home of the Bull Ant Brewery, and this is Bruthen. That's the road to Omeo and Wangaratta, across the mountains. And I used to live up there actually, up near Omeo. So I know this area pretty well. And we're about to cross the Tambo River, which can be raging sometimes, but generally it's just like that. So this is the Tambo Valley, and we're stuck behind a truck. And here's the rail trail. We're going to cross over. And you can go for roughly another 100 k's on that rail trail. Now it goes up there. Well, we're about to cross the Snowy River, and bypass a town called Orbost, which is just off the highway. But this is the Snowy River Valley, and very fertile plain. And when this river is running, it is huge. Now there's the old train line trestle bridge, which is no longer used, not even as a rail trail for bike riders and walkers. The train line finished at Orbost, and that's where the rail trail finishes. And any moment now we will be crossing the Snowy River. The Snowy River comes from up in the mountains there, in the Snowy Mountains, and the Snowy River is pretty much controlled by dams, irrigation schemes these days, hydroelectricity, all that sort of stuff. Way up in the mountains there's been a huge amount of dam works built up there. So the river is much more controlled, but it still rages sometimes, and here it is. There is the Snowy River. When it's flooding, when it's going at full strength, whatever you want to call it, it's one of the biggest rivers in Australia, and it can be an absolute raging torrent. But of course that only happens rarely these days. And there's the town of Orbost. We're going through the Alfred National Park at the moment, and you can see it's quite windy and quite high, and we get views out over the hills. This is temperate rainforest, so it's quite wet up here most of the year, and you get really lush growth, especially in the valleys like this one coming up. Won't be long now and we're across the border from Victoria into New South Wales. Well, we're just going past the most remote town in Victoria on the Princes Highway. So after this town we cross over the border, but this town of Genoa is the most remote in eastern Victoria, and any moment now we cross over the Genoa River, which is potentially another raging torrent, but of course at the moment will be just a trickle because the way the weather has been. So even though the fields are very nice and green, there's the town, what there is of it. I think they have a general store, and that would be about it. I think there might be a pub. And so here we go, across. Just left a bit, Jenny. There's the Genoa Hotel Motel in all its luxury. And here's the Genoa River. So there you go. The country is so lush and green. It's looking really nice. Well, here we go, guys. We're crossing from Victoria to New South Wales. Thank you for visiting East Gippsland. And here we go. Welcome to New South Wales. And Sydney's only 528 kilometres away, but we're only going about 150, so still staying well short of Sydney. And as you can see, at the moment the road is quite windy. And it won't be too long now before we hit the coast. So while we're travelling along, I'll just show you how I check the speedo of the car. You can see, hopefully you can see, that says we're doing 100, 101, sometimes up to 102. We've got cruise control going, but the speedo on the car actually says 106. So Mazda are a good car, but their speedo is slightly wrong, because this is picking up GPS, obviously. Oh, got 104, Jenny, just watch it. 100, back to 100. So yeah, there you go. That's how we check our speed. Make sure when we go past any speed cameras, whatever, see a police car, we know that we're actually at the correct speed and not going to get picked up. Check this, guys. One vehicle. Whoa. Coming into Eden, and you can see we've got water from side to side. And this used to be a whaling port back in the day. Well, that little trip saved probably 15 minutes off the normal drive when you have to go through the town and face all the traffic lights, etc. And now we go across the Bega River. Coming down into the quaint little village of Cobargo, and as you can see from the buildings, this is quite an old place. Pub serves a great meal. Been there before. Might even get to do a bit of a review there while we're here, but we'll see which ones we get to. But we're set up in the mountains now, only about 20 k's from the coast. It's a great little village with arts and crafts stores, and yeah, it's just a great little place to service the local area. Destination of today is Wallaga Lake, and it's on the side. Wallaga Lake is at the foot of that mountain over there, Mount Dromedary. Some very bending and twisting roads around here. Coming down to Wallaga Lake now, and we'll cross this old wooden bridge. Sometimes this lake fills up when its outlet to the sea clogs up. We're going to be staying in a cottage down the bottom of this road. Ooh, we have a bathroom. We have a couple of bedrooms, a lounge room, and we walk through here. This is our little veranda, and that's where we are. That's not bad for a couple of days.